And we're live. Welcome to 5 Minute Friday. I'm your host this week, Zach Storms, one of the founders of Startup TNT, and I am here with special guest Daniel Kamau from Sketchdeck. How you doing, Dan?
I'm doing really good. The year is off to a great start, and really happy to be chatting with you, Zach.
You know,
And
we always go by first names here, and I just said your full name, and I'm actually not sure if I said it correctly. Did I pronounce your last name right, Dan? What happened?
Yeah. It's close enough. It's close.
All right. Okay. Listen, Dan was in our last investment summit that just wrapped up in the fall, and he's here to share a little bit of news and updates and advice for those of you out there in the world looking to start other startups. Here in Edmonton, here in the prairies, anywhere in the world, really. So, Dan, are you ready to get started? I'm going to put 5 minutes on the clock. We're going to get into this.
I'm ready to go, Zach. Glad to be here.
Okay, we're gonna jump right in. 5 minutes starts now. Dan, what is your name and job title?
My name is Daniel. If you wanted to say it the way my mom would say it, you would say Kamau. My job title is founder and CEO of Sketchdeck.ai.
And what does Sketchdeck.ai do, Dan?
So we're working with specialty contractors, and we're helping them automate the process of reviewing construction drawings and submitting more bids on time so that they can increase their revenues. In another way is we're using machine learning to scan through PDF drawings and accelerate the time that it takes for these contractors to extract information from these drawings.
So how much time are you saving these contractors in this process?
An average bid takes about 30 hours. With a fully built out solution, we're looking to save them about 80% of 20 hours about. Okay. So about 16 hours.
And these guys are doing a lot of bids, so that adds up to a lot of hours saved.
That adds up to a lot of hours saved. Essentially, material counting is the most time-consuming part of any construction bid. And so we're really excited about tackling this problem for contractors and specialty contractors. And
so what's the state of the product as it stands today? Is it already in the market, or is it still at a development stage? Where are we at?
Yeah, it's right in there. It's a perfect timing.
Yes, launching now.
Just launching now, exactly. So next week we'll be giving the beam detector or the tool to our initial group of customers. We've gotten feedback from them as we were developing, and so they'll be able to start kind of seeing how this works on all their construction drawings. So we're turning more into a iterative development process where we develop some features, we let them use it, they give us feedback, and then we cycle back. So we'll be launching quite a few times this whole
continuous launching with the customers, launching small things, fixing problems, launching better things.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, listen, how about we talk a little bit about your background, Dan? Like, how did you become an entrepreneur? Maybe, how'd you become an entrepreneur? How'd Sketchdeck come about here?
Yeah. So I always had an interest in building products. I started being a structural engineer, and my motivation there was I wanted to build products or buildings that I could see and infrastructure because I could see them. Then I went back to school, did my MBA and MEng in construction management, and realized that I could also build, and not everything had to be physically, like not everything that I built I had to physically see it. So then just started thinking about how do I combine what I was learning in my program, which was AI, machine learning technologies that were going to change how we work and how we live, with my passion for the construction industry. And so in 2021, decided to launch Sketchdeck.ai, which was essentially merging AI ML tech and problems in the construction industry. And so that's how I became an entrepreneur and formed the company.
What do you think motivates you and other people like you to go out there and build a company, Sketchdeck, versus trying to solve that problem within the context of a bigger organization? You know,
that's a good question, Zach.
the
I think
entrepreneur gene. That's what I'm trying to get at here. What's the entrepreneur gene, Daniel?
I think there's certain people who just they see problems, and they're not focused on solving small problems iteratively. They're probably more focused on solving problems from a holistic perspective. And they want to solve big problems as opposed to tweaking this process ever so slightly. So I think people who have an eye towards recognizing bigger problems, and it just itches them. Those are the kind of people that end up being entrepreneurs.
Yeah, okay. I like that insight.
Yeah.
Resonates with me. Okay, let's talk about fundraising. You were in the Startup TNT Investment Summit. You raised money as a side deal. You're a finalist. Congratulations. Tell us a little bit about that experience. You know, what value you get out of participating in the investment summit?
Yeah, was repeat that last part of the question.
What's the value? Just some, what's the value that you can share about participating in the investment summit last fall?
I think I've participated in the investment summit twice. The first time we weren't successful insofar as receiving funds, and the second time we were. Both times we got a ton of value from the experience. The first time we learned about competitors, we learned what investors look for, we learned how to position the company. The second time, we found alignment with some of the investors some of the angel investors who were in the summit. And so we've been able to start to learn from the investors and understand that when you're looking for an investor, you want to look for someone who's aligned and ask the questions about, okay, what's the motivation behind investors? What type of companies are they looking to invest in? And so I'm really glad that this last time we found investors like Dale Beard and Kyle from Keller Construction who've partnered with us and really provided insight to help us think about how to tackle the industry and how to build a successful business.
Yeah, and you mentioned earlier you're still meeting with some of those investors to, get some general advice and mentorship to this day, correct?
Yeah, exactly. I'm impressed by the quality of the investors that are behind Startup TNT.
I'm impressed too. I keep learning from them every time we do these summits. Kind of like best practices for due diligence. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, look, I got two final questions for you before we wrap it up here. Okay, we're only 2 minutes over time. Not bad.
Okay.
What's next for Sketchdeck? What's the future look like?
Oh wow, the future is exciting. We've picked a problem that means a lot to the customers that we have. So iteratively solving this problem and landing a product that delivers the value that we've identified with these companies is going to be important. We've brought on the right team, and so we're able to build and deliver this solution within the next couple of quarters. We're looking towards potentially raising another round in the fall and expanding into another vertical. So we'll be exploring what other verticals we can expand into and deliver a solution to solve more problems like the one we're currently solving.
Yeah, that's amazing. That sounds like a really fun year. We're happy to have you as part of the TNT portfolio family. And so I just have one final question, Dan.
Sure.
Looking out to the audience of some aspiring entrepreneurs like yourself, what's your advice to somebody kind of at that early decision point where they're thinking about taking the plunge into entrepreneurship? What's your advice to them to get started?
I would say you can't start early enough and you shouldn't give up. Don't give up. Just keep trying, keep pounding the pavement and keep going. I think when your heart is in the right place and you're looking to make an impact in your community and the environment, whatever that internal drive is for you, you're eventually going to land into the right solutions. You're going to meet the right people who give you the keys and help you unlock different parts of your dream and the vision that you have. So keep at it and start.
Timeless advice from Dan. Listen, I'm actually going to ask a bonus question now because I'm curious. Is Sketchdeck the first startup that you've launched, or did you have any others previously that maybe didn't go so well?
Nothing worth nothing worth saying publicly. So in university, I partnered with a friend to build an app for structural engineers. And so that was a 4th year project. And then previously started thinking about like building a babysitting app, because that was the problem or mindset that I was in when I started.
That was the massive problem you had. Hey, there's actually another company that does that. Birdie Break, little shout out.
Shout out to them.
They've got the babysitting app. I've used it. It works pretty well.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so I decided, not to go down that path. So Sketchdeck is the first startup that I've launched.
Okay, listen, why don't we leave it here? I think we're about 5 minutes over time. So that's my favorite type of 5-minute Friday, actually 10-minute Friday. Thanks so much for joining us, Dan. And to everybody who's listening, we have happy hours every single Thursday in Edmonton, Calgary, Saskatoon, Regina, and Winnipeg, 5 cities. Go to our website, startuptnt.com. Check out the events. Join us at a happy hour coming up soon. You can join us next week. We've also got our next finale coming up on March 23rd. Life sciences, clean tech, and ag tech. All streams are raising money. We're probably looking to do over $1 million in investments happening March 23rd. And then Spring Summit will be launching very soon as well. So if you're looking to raise money, check out our website. Join us in the future. Dan, thanks so much for joining us, and everybody have a great Friday afternoon.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Take care, Zach.